Hi everybody, welcome back. We're going to do some yoga, so get ready, unroll your mat and grab some props. I'll see you right back here. We'll begin today in a comfortable seated position on the mat. I am sitting cross-legged on a block. Feel free to do the same or wherever it's going to be comfortable for you. You can let your hands just settle into the lap, or maybe let your hands rest on the legs, palms down or up. If it's comfortable to close the eyes, feel free to do so. Let yourself have a moment or two as you settle into your seat. Just let yourself carve out this time and this space for your practice, letting go of all the things off the mat and tuning into all the things happening in the body on the mat. Sit tall, feel the shoulders melt back away from the ears. And taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out the mouth. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And letting the breath return to in and out through the nose, nice and easy. Right at this time of year in summer, we always like to keep the breath moving free and clear in and out through the nose. Right? It helps to keep the temperatures down. It helps us to avoid overheating. Let's take another deep breath or two right here. And opening up the eyes if they're not already open. Reach both arms all the way out to the sides like airplane wings. Identify your right arm and wrap it underneath the left, taking your hands to opposite shoulders, giving yourself a nice big hug. Take an inhale, and with your exhale, relax your chin to your chest and gently rounding, not rounding too much, just a little bit as you enjoy this embrace. Take 1 more breath. And lift the head back up, sit tall, reach the arms out. We'll go the other way. Take the left arm, wrap it now under the right, hands to opposite shoulders, sit tall, inhale. Exhale, drop the chin and round just a little bit. Holding for another deep breath. And releasing out, lift the head up, release the arms out to the sides, bring both arms behind the back, interlace fingers, and pressing the palms together, lift the chest up, put a little bend in the elbows, and bring your fist to the right side of your waist. So your right elbow is pointing out to the right side. Sit tall and relax your right ear to the shoulder. As your right ear is tilting toward the shoulder, just let your eyes look to the left. Take 1 more deep breath. And bring your head back up to neutral. Reach the arms back behind you. Bend the elbows again, and now bring the fist to the left side of your waist. So your left elbow is pointing out to the left side. Sit tall. Relax the left ear to your shoulder. Let your eyes look to the right. Nice, easy breaths. And we'll bring the head back up to neutral. Reach the arms back, release the grip and shake out the hands a little bit. Let's come off of our seat. Let's come on to hands and knees. We'll do a couple rounds of cat and cow to warm up the spine. You can tuck or untuck the toes, whatever feels better here. Completely up to you. Of course, modifying your practice today as it makes sense for you. Take an inhale, arch the spine, little back bend, eyes up. And exhale, round down into your cat pose. Hollow out the belly, head down, round. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding. You can even close the eyes while you're here if you like. That's up to you. Then continuing, moving with the breath. One more full breath. And after your last exhale where you're in cat pose, neutralize the spine. Bring the right knee a little more forward. Extend your left leg straight back behind you and turn your left foot flat on the mat, coming into Vinyasa, modified side plank. Sweep the left arm back, then around as it reaches overhead. Now reach your left arm overhead, fingertips pointing to the front of the room. One more breath. Look down at your bottom hand, your right hand. Come up onto the fingertips of your right hand. Now sweep the right foot a little bit further back behind you and gently press off with your right hand. Come up, arms out. Relax the left arm alongside the body. Reach the right arm over, coming into gate pose. Look toward the right and hold for one more breath. Lower down both hands onto the mat. Come onto hands and knees. Take a brief child's pose for one breath. Sink back, arms forward, hold. Breathing in. Hold, breathing out. Come up again to hands and knees. We'll bring the left knee a little more forward, slide the right leg back behind you. Turn your right foot flat to the mat. Vinyasa, modified side plank. Sweep the right arm behind you or alongside the body. Reach the right arm over. Now reach the right arm toward the front of the room. Hold for a breath. Peeking down at your left hand, come up onto the fingertips of your left hand. Sweep the left foot a little bit further behind the left knee, just a little bit, and gently push off with the left hand so the arms reach out to the sides. Coming into gate pose, right arm alongside the right leg, left arm over, look left and hold for a breath. Lower down both hands onto the mat, come back to hands and knees, child's pose, shift back, arms forward, head down for a breath. And returning to hands and knees, and this time let's come into downward facing dog, the hips up and back. Walk out your feet if you like in the first down dog, completely up to you. If that feels good, waking up the legs, go for it. Let's stay with the breath. Then taking a big inhale, lift the heels up. Big exhale, sink the heels down. Roll forward to plank pose, lining up the shoulders and drop the knees. Sink the hips forward, come into high cobra pose, untuck your toes, and the shoulders line up over the wrists. Broaden the collarbones out to the sides, look past the nose, one breath. Return to downward facing dog, hips up and back. Put a little bend in the knees, look forward, and walk or float your feet to the front of the mat. Fold over the legs when you get there, relax the head down. Take hands to opposite elbows, coming into ragdoll. Make sure you have at least a micro bend, but you're, of course, welcome to bend the knees as much as you like, and feel free to sway a little if you like. Just draping yourself over the legs and switch the hands, opposite hand on top. And drop the arms toward the mat, roll up slow to stand, press down, uncurl, lifting all the way up to stand in Tadasana. Relax the arms by your side. Sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, then bring the palms together. Let the palms settle at the heart center, Samastitihi, setting up Vrikshasana, tree pose. Shift your weight to the right leg, turn the left toes out. Step the left foot inside the right leg, avoid the knee. Bring the palms again together at the heart, press down, lift the arms, separate the hands, and as the arms lift up, the shoulder blades drop down the back. Look past your nose for one more breath. And bring the palms together at the heart, point the left knee straight forward. Step into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana, left foot back, heel down, lift the arms, bending at the right knee, interlace fingers overhead, press the palms up, look up if you can. One more breath. Look straight ahead, now press both palms straight forward. One breath. Take it to Warrior Two, reach the arms out, look over the right hand, one breath. Reverse the warrior, right arm over. We'll come into Prasarita Padottanasana. Lower your hands inside the right foot, travel to the left. Parallel the feet, hang over the legs. I like to just lower the elbows and forearms down, but if you like, you can just keep your hands on the mat, or you can interlace fingers behind the back, stretch the arms overhead. I know that tends to be a crowd pleaser. Let's hold for another deep breath. And we'll meet with hands on the mat, chest up. Do a little Skandasana, side lunge, go to the left as you stretch the right leg. Hold for a breath. And we'll come into low lunge at the front. Come up and pivot, walk your hands around. Let's take low lunge twist. Open the right arm up to the right side, reach high. Let's give it another deep breath. And lower the right hand down and bring it to downward facing dog, step back. With your next inhale, bring it forward to plank and chaturanga or drop the knees. Inhale, upward facing, lift the knees in your up dog. Exhale, downward facing, or enjoy a nice child's pose. Let's take 3 deep breaths. And from your downward facing, soft knees look forward, walk or hop your feet to the front of the mat. Lift your chest, inhale, then exhale, round down over the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms around, rise up. Bring both palms together, settle it at the heart center. Vrikshasana, tree pose, going the other way. Shift your weight to the left leg, turn the right toes out. Step your right foot in, avoid the knee directly on the side. Palms still at the heart center, press down, lift the arms, separate your hands, drop the shoulder blades, soft gaze past the nose, one more breath. And return the prayer to the heart. Point the right knee straight forward. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana, step back, spin the heel down, lift the arms, bend deep at the left knee, look up, interlace fingers, press the palms up for a breath. Look straight forward, press the palms forward, one breath. Warrior two, reach out to the side, look over the left hand, one breath. We'll reverse the warrior, left arm over. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged fold. Hands lower to the inside of the left foot, travel to the right. Parallel the feet, keep them 3 to 4 feet apart, hang over the legs. Any variation you choose. You can do the same thing that you did on the other side or do a different variation, just the goal is the same, crown of the head down, sit bones up. At least a micro bend in the knees, and let's give it another deep breath. Let's meet in the center with hands on the mat, chest up. Skandasana, side lunge, go to the right, back of the mat, bend deep through the right knee, hold for a breath. We'll take it to low lunge at the front. Come up, pivot, walk your hands around. Take the twist and float the left arm high, reach up, look up and give it one more breath. Lower your left hand, down dog, step back. You can hold it here or flow through. Let's enjoy a little child's pose, lower the knees, toes together. You can reach the arms straight forward, palms up, or if you prefer, you can reach the arms back behind you, wrapping the arms around the outsides of the legs. And let's hold here for another deep breath or two. All right, child's pose is a really nice cooling pose, especially this time of year. And we'll release, come back to hands and knees, and take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, listen carefully, we'll put a little bend in the knees and walk your hands back to your feet in down dog. Folding over the legs, back of the mat, Padangusthasana, hand to toe pose, grab the big toes in Yogi Toe Lock, press down, lift the chest, inhale, then exhale, elbows out, head down. Option to modify if you prefer in ragdoll with your hands holding opposite elbows. And let's give it another deep breath or two. And with your next inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, releasing out the toes and bring your hands to the waist, and with a flat back, press up slow to stand. Good. Keep the hands on the waist and just briefly doing a standing balance pose. Shift your weight to the right leg, lift the left knee, and you can hold on to the left knee with your hands, a little more stability, or grab onto your big left toe in Yogi Toe Lock. Take the right hand on the waist and press the left heel out. One breath. Let's rebend the left knee if it isn't already and let it go. Relax the arms by your side, Tadasana. We'll go the other way. You can bring hands again on the waist, shift your weight left, lift the right knee, and you can hold here. You can interlace fingers, hold the right knee, or grab onto your big right toe. Keep the standing leg solid, left hand on the waist, and press the right heel forward. One breath. Rebending the right knee and lower it down. Relax the arms by your side, Tadasana. Keeping the feet hip width distance, inhale, sweep the arms around, Urdhva Hastasana, look up. Exhale, dive over the legs, Uttanasana, down dog, walk your hands out. And from your downward facing dog, let's come on to hands and knees. Setting up Virasana Hero pose, sit on your heels. You can always, if you choose, take a block, slide it between the heels, right? Or take a blanket behind the knees. That'll ease up some tension in the knees if that's an issue for you. If you're good to go, you can stay here. You can also, if you like, separate your feet. Reaching the hands, fingertips behind you. Maybe slightly lift the hips a little to feel the quad stretch, right? The tops of the legs here. That might feel nice. Or if you have space to do so, you can drop the palms flat, chest up, shoulders back, head back, or even go deeper if you have room to do so. Elbows down, head back. And if you want to go for it, maybe take your upper back if you have room to do so. I'm not going to demo that today, but if you can, if your upper back, the backs of your shoulder blades meet the mat, then you can reach the arms overhead and take your hands to opposite elbows. Let's hold here for another deep breath or two. And carefully releasing one elbow at a time, one hand at a time. Slowly come back up and come off of your heels. You can shake out the feet a little bit. Let's bring the right knee through for pigeon pose, right? Readjust the right shin. Slide the left leg back, sit tall. Props if you want to use them, to avoid sliding one side or the other. And when you're good to go, arms out, head down. Remember to take the reverse figure 4 on the back if you need to for the knees and the back, the knees and the hips. Let's hold for another deep breath. And as we come out, slide the hands in, head up. We'll do some Janu Shirshasana, roll to the outer right leg. Bring the left leg around, your right foot to the inner left thigh. Sit tall, take your hands to the legs and slide the hands out, reaching for your left foot. Use a strap or belt if you need. Let's hold for another deep breath. Slide the hands in, return upright. Ardha Matsyendrasana, lift the right knee, step your right foot outside the left leg, sit tall, take the left arm, wrap it around, twist to your right side, drop the right arm back behind you, opening to the right and holding for another deep breath. Bring it back to center, brief counter stretch, go left. Come back to center, we'll unwrap the legs, return to hands and knees. This time, pigeon pose, bring the left knee through the right leg back. Sit tall. Modify as you need if you need, props as you see fit. And if you're good to go, lengthen, arms out, head down as you fold. Let's take another deep breath or two. Then coming out, walk your hands in, lift the head up, Janu Shirshasana, roll to the left hip, bring the right leg all the way around, extending it out, the left foot to the right thigh, inner right thigh. Sit tall, hands on the right leg, slide them out and reach for the right foot. Lengthen, use a strap or belt if you need. Relax the shoulders back a little, and we'll hold for another deep breath. And coming back out, lift the head, slide the hands in, and Lift the left knee, Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated spinal twist. Extend the right leg straight forward and step the left foot over. Take a twist, go to your left. Wrap the right arm, drop the left arm behind you. Sit tall, look left, and hold for one more breath. Come back to center, little counter stretch, go right. Come back to the middle, unwrap the left leg. Let's bend up at both knees as we continue winding things down. Bend up at the knees, feet flat, lower on the back, and actually hug your knees in toward the chest. Yeah, enjoy a little release here. Maybe take a happy baby if you like, and if it feels good, you can rock some side to side. And bringing your feet onto the mat again, let's take a brief rest in Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out, hands to the legs or resting on the belly. So feel free to remain here. You can always take blocks underneath the knees if the hips need a little support, or roll up a blanket or pillows or something behind the knees. If you want to go upside down, because I know I'm always a big proponent of inversions toward the end of practice, I'm going to encourage the use of a prop right now. Bring the knees together if you're coming out of Supta Baddha Konasana. If you're staying in the hip stretch, stay in the hip stretch. If you're going upside down, take a prop. I'm going to use a block and slide it underneath my back, behind the sacrum. That's the flat part of the lower back there. And just lift the legs up, heels over your hips, and drop the arms out a little bit. So this is a semi-restorative option to go upside down. You certainly can take Sarvangasana shoulder stand today, but again, in the summertime, doing an active inversion tends to kick up a lot of energy, and that can also increase levels of heat. So we want to be careful that we don't overheat this time of year. So this is a happy medium where you're still getting the benefits of the inversion without overdoing it and kicking up too much energy, but you're still getting that fresh circulation going as we turn ourselves upside down. And let's hold for another couple of breaths wherever you are. You can even go legs up the wall. That would be a wonderful way to modify here. And let's give it another full breath or so. If you're upside down, slowly come out, bringing your feet onto the mat first. Lift the hips, slide the props out from under you, hug the knees in. And if you did the shoulder stand variation or shoulder stand, I'm going to encourage you to take fish pose as a proper counter stretch. I'm going to rock up and straighten out the legs, and using the block, I'm going to put the block between my shoulder blades. So the block should start somewhere in the middle of the back, not all the way at the lower back. So give yourself space as you roll back, middle of the back, the shoulder blades wrap around the block, your head drops back, and the arms drop out a little, palms up. If you're in the hip opening stretch, you can hold there for a little longer, or you can bring the knees in, you can hug the knees in, or even if you like windshield wiper the knees side to side. We'll hold our fish pose for another breath or two. And we'll release from our fish pose. If you're using the block like I am or any kind of prop, bend your knees, roll to your side, roll off of your prop, remove it from behind you, then hug the knees in. So we're all on the back, hugging the knees in, rock a little. Feel free to take any final stretch that you like to do before settling into Shavasana. And if you're otherwise ready, you've earned it. Start to settle back, extend out the legs, separate the feet and turn the palms up. Closing your eyes and just letting go of the practice, letting go of movement, holding space for your Shavasana the same way that you would hold space for every other asana in your practice. Just relaxing back, soften the eyebrows, unclenching the jaw, and just embracing these few moments of stillness before returning to your day. Feel free to stay longer if you have time to do so. Otherwise, I will part ways with you here. Thank you again for sharing your practice with me. Until we meet again on the mat, namaste.